So we're here, we're sent into space to create the world's first exhibition in space. The Portrait of Humanity's mission is to remind us that there's more that unites us than divides us. And that feels more poignant than ever in 2020, showcasing these beautiful images of people from all walks of life, from all over the world, with our home as the backdrop.
So Mark, you guys have challenged us with a really ambitious goal. We want to showcase the Portrait of Humanity's visuals in one of the most dramatic environments there is. The blackness of space, the curvature of the Earth will be the backdrop behind this screen playing your video. Tell me about the Portrait of Humanity. Really what we wanted to do with this is get that message out to as many people as possible. The exhibition's already the most viewed exhibition on the planet, on Earth. The physical exhibitions on every continent. We've got a book that goes around the world, and millions of people will see the portraits on digital advertising screens as they go about their everyday business. I think it's a fantastic idea. Now our team behind us, they're just finishing their last minute checks and systems checks. We've created a payload that demonstrates this screen in front of this fantastic backdrop, the Earth from space essentially. And before long, we're going to begin the filter process in order to have a very, very large balloon take all our equipment, our screen, our cameras and all our tracking equipment high above the Earth. We're going to be challenging 40 kilometers today to try and get as close as possible. At that altitude, the view will look remarkable.
This year, Portrait of Humanity is a celebration of the breadth of the human experience in a time where we're all living separately.
Each of the 400 images come together to unite the global community and show the tapestry of the human life. Whether you're a professional or amateur photographer, we'd love to see your work. Portrait of Humanity is currently open for entries until the 22nd of October, so make sure you visit portraitofhumanity.co for your chance to be seen across the world.
Alex, one of the things we asked you guys to do was not just show a physical exhibition in space, but actually to kind of translate that somehow into some sort of code and transmit it. These images are our message of peace and harmony across the universe. So can you talk us through what we've sort of done to try and do that?
Absolutely. So this innocuous piece of wiring here is actually
the blue
antenna, the blue bit. That's going to transmit the images which have been encoded in a binary signal in a kind of broad spread upwards into space for any civilizations out there that might be listening. We've organised it so that it's not going to be broadcasting back down towards the ground, so we're not interfering with any kind of commercial broadcasting, but it's on as wide a frequency as possible so we can transmit it and in a very simple encoding so that anyone who receives this might be able to see these images and have a view of what life is like on Earth and the people who inhabit it.
We're doing our last minute checks on the payload. After that, we can roll cameras, make sure that the screen is still demonstrating its video, and then we'll go for launch.
Is now in the air and rising. The balloon is now travelling through the troposphere up towards the stratosphere and the region of near space. We've just passed the height of Mount Everest at 8,880 metres. The launch craft is now in near space and we're going to begin transmission through the antenna now, broadcasting out the images from Portrait of Humanity 2020 to anyone in the universe. Okay team, the balloon has just burst at a magnificent altitude and is falling back down to Earth at about 200 kilometers per hour. We are right underneath it and should be in place at the landing site when it comes down. The parachute is now in effect and we are descending through the troposphere, currently at an altitude of 10 kilometers. We've just touched down, headed to the landing site now. Well done team, mission accomplished.